It's been over a year since I started training planche, and I really haven't made much progress at all. I wanted to make this video if you are also struggling with planche or learning how to do planche. Here's some things that I've learned from watching a whole bunch of planche tutorials and from me not making any progress that you should take into consideration so you don't end up just being stuck like me. So the first big thing that I learned was you cannot train planche every day. This is not one that you can grease the groove with. So before I learned planche, I was able to do front lever. I just started holding front lever for 10 seconds consistently. And I thought I was greasing the groove with the front lever, training it almost every day to get to the point where I could hold it for 10 seconds straight. Planche is basically the opposite movement of the front lever. So you could probably train it the same, right? Do a few planche holds every day, and eventually you'll be able to get into a straddle planche. This does not work for planche because the injury rate for planche is way higher than front lever. There's really no risk for spraining any joints for front lever compared to planche, where you're holding all your weight on your wrist, your shoulders, and your elbow tendons. That stuff will break down on you and you will get injured. Train planche every day. I ended up just tweaking my left elbow and I had to take a month or so off of training, and I pretty much lost a whole bunch of progress that time. But unlike front lever, this is not a skill you can learn by just throwing a lot of effort at it, because believe me, I threw a lot of effort at it. But after a while, you realize I was basically training to the point where I got my shoulders and my bicep really fatigued. I felt the burn. I thought, hey, I'm putting all this effort in, I must be making some progress. But that's not the truth. Even though I was putting all that effort in, I wasn't even getting any stronger. I wasn't able to hold planche any longer than I was holding before. I wasn't able to start getting into straddle. It's like my muscles were getting fatigued, but what was the point? Because I'm not even getting any stronger at the planche. So this is not one that you can just throw effort at. So now, instead of greasing the groove and trying to train it every day, I only train it 3 to 4 times a week, and I make sure to take at least one rest day between every planche session. That way I can give my joints and my tendons and my muscles a bit of time to recover. I also stop chasing that fatigue feeling. What matters is you're making actual progress in the planche. So even though you don't feel like you're getting a real workout on your shoulders or whatnot, at the end of the day, what matters more is actually getting stronger and being able to advance in planche progressions. So that means for at least one planche session per week, I make it a point to make it a light session where I use more resistance bands or I do an easier progression. Those sessions, they are not fatiguing. My muscles don't feel like they're sore. They don't feel like they're actually getting worked very much. However, this does help with improving technique and making my muscles have more recovery time for when I do a harder session. Another big thing that I learned is that you really need to do some accessory exercises to improve your shoulder strength. So doing handstand push-ups or pike push-ups after you do your planche work to get some more volume in and get your shoulders stronger, because that is really the limiting factor for pretty much everybody that is trying to make progression for planche. Also found a really good YouTube channel from Rafael Paz. He has a lot of information on training planche. You should definitely check out his channel because he has a lot of videos on which exercises he recommends and how many sets to do per week, which is great if you're trying to find some more structure instead of just like what I did, just greasing the groove every day. So even though I haven't really made any progress, I ain't fucking giving up.
Before I die, I have to planche.
I'm gonna get the planche. I don't care if it takes me another like 2 years or whatever. I know my progress is really slow. You know, it's kind of funny because I'm putting so much effort into this skill that really isn't gonna do jack shit for my life. It's not gonna make me more money. Girls really don't give a shit whether or not you can planche. So it's kind of crazy how much effort I'm putting into something that really doesn't matter. But after training it for so long, watching all these videos, kind of becoming obsessed with it, I don't think I can go back, and I basically just have to do it at this point. I feel like it's good to just put this message out there, even if barely anybody watches these videos, because it just serves as a reminder to me whenever I check my YouTube channel to continue going at it. And if you're struggling with planche, or maybe you can planche very well, give me some tips in the comments. I'll make an update video on my planche progression when I get closer to straddle planche. But until then, I hope you're making progress on planche as well if you're trying to get it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.